Okay, then. Well, it appears that we are live for episode 3, season 2 of Heavy Metal Truants TV. What an absolute stormer of a day it has been. Helen Curl. Okay, then. Well, it appears that we are live for episode 3. You turn that off. Season 2. I guess that means that our stream is working.
Have you got a little delay there, Alex?
Indeed. Well, Helen, how are you doing? What a day it's been.
Oh my God, I haven't stopped crying for like all day.
Okay, so everyone that had the Helen Curl crying bingo card cried before the show. Yeah, there we go. But what an emotional day. I'm not gonna lie, I blubbed a few times already myself, and why the hell not? Because it has been such an absolutely thrilling day, Helen. A few updates then, I guess. There's some big news. There's a lot to talk about.
I don't know what to say first.
What was that? Yeah, I know. Where to even begin, really, I guess, is the thing. I mean, I guess the hardest thing about this, Helen, is that we're still going, right? So
absolutely,
it's impossible to talk about this in the past tense. If anybody's watching, if there is any doubt, the finish line is today. The work does not stop. Yeah, we are fundraising through August 31st, and Heavy Metal Truants will 100%, 1000% be back. Okay, so if you finish your miles, congratulations. If you haven't finished your miles, keep going. But the fundraising is going to keep on going because the charities are still doing the work, and that means we're going to keep on doing the work. Okay, so an update then on where we're at, I guess, probably makes the most sense. First things first.
Yes.
How many miles have we done?
Okay, so it's literally in the last kind of 10 minutes, I've just been going through kind of all of the mileage, all of the pounds, like adding things up and just making sure that I've got all of the information correct for right now. So, okay, as of 4 o'clock today, now we've got until midnight tonight to upload your mileage. So if you haven't done it already, please get it up there. So on Race Nation, so that we can count how many miles you guys have done collectively. But as of 4 o'clock today, our total miles for everyone done is 36,443 miles, which we were chatting about what equivalent is this? And somebody said it's a sixth of the way to the moon, which is awesome. So we were like, right, let's get to the moon. Yeah, and how many bananas is that, Alex? I think you know.
It's many billions. I can't even remember how many digits were in the number that we came up with, but highly recommend bananaconverter.com for all your banana measurement needs. However, whatever way you subdivide what we have done since last Monday, the fact that we have covered that much ground is absolutely unbelievable. And like, there's so many reasons to feel emotional today, but if you're on Facebook, if you're on the Heavy Metal Truants pit, looking at what people have been up to, I mean, it's just the pure elation. No matter what the distance people have done, if it's the high end, the lower end, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's all about showing your commitment to this. That's what this is all about. The fundraising is what makes a difference, not the distance. And that there are so many people who, I guess, feel like they've had a personal achievement by doing this. That's almost the sweetest thing, because you can see so many people persevering, because, let's be honest, this is not an easy time.
It's not.
But that so many people are finding reasons to smile and be part of something good is really, really wonderful. So we have other news and other numbers as well. So yes. So hit me with the rest.
Okay, so there's obviously the big kind of news for today is how much we've raised so far. And like you said, Alex, we're not stopping fundraising until for this year. August 31st is the cutoff date. That's when we kind of close the accounts and go, right, let's see how much money we can give to these 4 charities this year. But so far, and at the end of the challenge, we have raised, including gift aid, which is very important, £124,580.47.
Indeed.
Which is unbelievable. And it also means that we have passed that magic number that we needed to make collectively £1 million raised over 9 years of heavy metal truants.
I can't even. I can't even. I mean, every time I've read this like 100 times, and I still can't absorb it. This is we've raised £1 million.
We raised £1 million. You guys have raised £1 million. So thank you.
I'm dying. It hasn't even hit me yet. I mean, I'm just thinking about it, like how it all began, the years of doing this, the amount of sweat that people put into it behind the scenes or out on the road. It is unbelievable to me that we have achieved this. Actually, it's not unbelievable. Of course we did, because it's sheer determination and grit, and just the best people. Heavy Metal Truants attracts 100% the best people who are so.
I've made some of the best friends I've ever in my life through Heavy Metal Truants, and I know that some people who are coming on later have kind of found each other through it as well. And I think that's kind of what the pit's about as well. It's getting to know people and seeing who else is in your area and seeing who else is doing what. And like with the physical rides when we go, we just the camaraderie and the kind of the love that we have for each other is to keep each other going.
Absolutely. And it's
nice.
Indeed. And it's us. There's no individual. It is 100% down to everybody that has joined us over the years, that's helped us. Just how many thousands of people do you think have donated to us over the years? Memorabilia, Heavy Metal Truant, curries nights, all these things. It's unbelievable, but it does add up to one incredible sum. And look, maybe it's premature, but all I can think about now is, how do we make the 2 million? How do we make the 5? Because it's got to keep going, right? But for everyone who's watching tonight or may watch, salute. What an absolute achievement. Helen,
congratulations.
Indeed. It's a hell of a lot to be proud of. Wow. And
sweet alcohol.
Yes. And so thinking about, look, it's tradition. It's tradition. We raise a glass, but we wanted to highlight a few people. Because there's so many great stories. About all of this. Obviously, who could look away from the fact that, Bruce Dickinson, absolutely 100% just grabbing the bike with both hands and just completely crushing it. On the fundraising, on the miles, just everything. Was there ever any surprise that he was going to be completely awesome?
No. It was so funny because Rod and I were chatting about kind of getting Bruce on the bike and wondering, because obviously when people first start out on, they're kind of, a lot of us have been unfit and kind of not quite sure how we're going to be on a bike. Some of us haven't ridden a bike for 20 odd years. And we're not the most athletic bunch, a lot of us, speaking completely personally, but we've got out there and done it. Now Bruce is an athletic guy. He's he has an amazing stamina, and he's kind of cycled so far that he's updated. He's put 302 kilometers, which if I just do a quick calculation, he's done 187 miles so far, which is phenomenal. I think he's still going out today, and he's still got a few more to add up. But obviously, fundraising, the fans from Iron Maiden have been amazing, and Iron Maiden team have supported us by tweeting and putting on their social media his link. Bruce has raised £28,131 so far. So, that's that's a big chunk that got us over that million. So, thank you, Bruce, and thank you, Iron Maiden, and thank you, Rod, and everyone that's made it possible.
Indeed. None of this would have existed were it not for Rod. Just like a moment of acknowledgement. This is a family that, he started, with the Truants. Heavy Metal Truants was born out of a ride in Morocco. And, this is just the power of ideas and vision and just saying, well, let's just do it, and so I'm incredibly proud to be a part of it. And I know that's echoed by everyone who's watching tonight. And so we've got a few people that we wanted to highlight, though, because there's so many adventures, right? No one is more special than anyone else in all this, but just to kind of give people a range of the adventures that they're doing. We want, like Matt Fuller did the Donington in a day.
Yeah.
raised
Didn't he
5,000.
actually cycle to Donington? Or
You know,
did he just do the miles? I don't know.
he did the Donington miles in a day,
Okay.
175 miles in a day, which
Amazing.
is absolutely. So who else? Let's
Unheard of. But also, not only is he ridden all those miles in a day, he's also raised over £5,000 so far. So
yes,
Matt, hats off.
indeed, exemplary, sir. Indeed. I mean, who else? I mean, because there's so many great stories coming out of this.
Yeah, so we've got a few people that we've allowed to do personal challenges, and they've done it slightly differently. So Maria Field, who's a long-term heavy metal truant, she had a broken leg last year, at the end of last year, and has been recovering ever since. And she's asked if she could do the 1,000 miles over a longer period, and we were like, totally, you take your time, girl, you do it however you want. And she's currently on 705 £100, 705 pounds, so she's doing amazingly. And I think she's doing it kind of a mixture of cycling, but also on an exercise bike as well, just because obviously she can't get out there with a foot in a bandage or whatever. So yeah, she's doing amazing.
Yeah, so the grit and determination, Maria, is absolutely inspiring to me. I mean, you know, she's been out multiple rides with us, but then when she came to us with this, it was just like, yeah, of course, you know, because it is just about showing that commitment. Mary and Zan, who are on episode 1 of HMTV,
Absolutely.
they both absolutely smashed it. Zan did the Bomber 334 and raised £2,140. Mary with the Donington 837 pounds. I mean, just like a mother and daughter team. I mean, just like how completely awesome is that? You know, so
It's amazing. So together they've raised nearly £3,000 just between the two of them. So
indeed, yeah, we got Will Moore. You know, you might know him as like the Matterhorn guy. If you've seen a mad guy on top of the Matterhorn waving a heavy metal truant shirt, that's Will. Well, he's running 1,000 kilometers this year. You know, in our name, which, you know, is just, that's just Brian Blessed would approve. Let's just put it that way. And then tell me a little bit about Susie Aldridge, another person who we kind of picked out of just like a mix of so many amazing people. You know,
yeah. So Susie turned 50 either today or yesterday, but she's having a big party tonight, so she's very excited about that. She's got a big teepee in the garden apparently, which is nice. But she asked if she could do some of the mileage rowing because she's got such an active outdoor lifestyle. She's also got arthritis in her knees, so she's had kind of, you know, the injections to stop the pain before the ride, but she obviously didn't want to go on the bike the whole hog. So we said, you know, if you need to row some bits, absolutely do it. So she's doing 50 miles on the rowing machine, and then but she's actually done 66 already because she got carried away by listening to Volbeat, of course. But she's also done some extra miles on the bike as well, and she's done it on the gym bike and on the mountain bike. So, you know, she's just smashing it. And funnily enough, she's one of our top 10 earners on the ride. She's raised just by herself £4,163.75 so far. So Susie, nice work.
Seriously. But again, you know, it's about the money, but it's also just like this total commitment because, you know, I mean, people have lives, you know, they're doing work and all this. And so, I mean, it's kind of in the truest sense of truancy that this all happens, because I mean, the definition of the word is doing something else, you know, while you're supposed to be somewhere else, being responsible. We've all kind of bunked off of work. We've all stolen hours from things, and probably maybe, you know, if you've got partners, you know, you probably stretch things a little bit, you know, gone out at odd hours and whatever else. And it's unbelievably cool to see that happening, because it's almost like, you know, the mischief of it all, you know, but for such a good cause. So there are a few people that we actually wanted to bring into the show, however, because we kind of thought their stories were kind of, you know, unique highlights to what I guess you could call HMT spirit, for lack of a better term. Another way you could call it is just pure fucking heavy metal. Jack, how are you doing, man? Good to see you.
Not too bad, thank you. How are you guys?
Oh, all the better for seeing you, and I'm so glad to see you upright, because we're completely blown away. Jack, hit us with it. What did you do over the last 12 days? Because I can't even believe my eyes.
first and foremost, suffered. Secondly, is a challenge called Everesting. So you essentially pick one hill and go up and down until you accumulate the height of Mount Everest, which is 29,029 feet is the challenge. I think Everest is slightly taller now. But
Why on earth would you do that to yourself? I mean, obviously raising money, but
yeah. So I've always been one of those weird ones that quite enjoys hills. I think you're kind of born with it or not. But yeah, I soon found out that I don't enjoy them anymore.
well, Jack, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing that you just kind of came up with this challenge on your own, and we were like, yeah, do what you want, go for it. And it's amazing. And we've loved seeing your kind of little stories on the pit and following how you've done. It's amazing.
It was a solid 8 out of 10 on the blessed meter, in terms of, batshitness and just like pure bravado. It's just like, so I mean, because I mean the thing is, it looks so psychological, because I mean, let's be clear, you were doing the same hill, right?
Yes.
Hill, and you just, I mean, so how many times did you have to go up and down the same damn hill?
316 for this one, which was my downfall. So when the pros do it, they choose a very long climb that's very steep, and they end up doing it only 5 or 6 times. But because I live in Suffolk, which is famously flat, the closest hill to my house that had any kind of elevation to it at all, I have to do so many more.
That's
and it just became the most horrible thing ever.
You've gone up the same hill 300 times.
Yep.
There are no words.
Yeah.
It's this weird routine of dead squirrel, post box, wheelie bin, tree stump, turn round, same again.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack, that's amazing.
I want you on my team. Whatever.
100%.
Whatever the team, whatever I'm doing, I want you on it. That's just unbelievable. Thank you so much for the commitment that you've shown. And,
no worries.
Honestly, looking at that thing, I was just like feeling too tired to get out of bed. It's like, I wonder what Jack's doing right now. So
yeah.
Crying.
And Jack, you've raised £402 so far, so thank you.
I have. No worries.
Keep going. We'll be sharing your story across the socials and telling people about it. So hopefully we can get that money up.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well done, and we'll catch you very soon. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Get some rest.
And to you guys.
Yes.
Have a good evening.
Have a rest.
Very good. Okay, I love this. Okay.
I love that guy.
Geez. Okay, so now we're.
So he's also Jack's also like an avid climber. He does lots of climbing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like an avid.
I absolutely want him joining us on any future excursion. It just has to happen. 100%. Okay, so we're bringing in Emma Donahue now, someone who is near and dear to us, of course, and we're going to find out what she's been up to. A lot of this is involved getting up very early. Emma, how are you doing? Are you receiving?
I embarrassingly was sat ready waiting, and then had you muted and video turned off.
Very well done. No, it's all good. And good hoodie as well. Emma, what a pleasure it is to see you. Jeez.
Oh, it's so lovely to see your faces.
Yeah, you too. I mean, we're at the end of something, and wow. I'm only ever left with a sense of emptiness, and the only way to fill it is just to start planning the next one. I mean, you can see why people kind of get addicted to adventures, because this has been one. And for you, Emma, again, I am completely, I said this to you, completely blown away by what you've done, because you chose to, you cycled with us before, but what did you do this year? Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, last year I decided to do 66.6 miles just because I thought it was a good number. And then this year I thought I needed to up it because I wasn't going to get on the bike again. I just didn't have the time to kind of put the bike rides in with work, but walking is something I love doing. So I thought, well, everybody who knows me knows that I love walking. So it wasn't that much of a challenge. So I had to up it. So I completed yesterday at 3:15, 100 miles.
Oh,
walking.
But can I just say, I'm so glad you left me a good 18 minutes, because when you made that announcement at the beginning, I was a mess. I've been crying with joy, and I was like, please don't dial me in yet, I'm not ready. So I'm just so, proud, buzzing. I'm so emotional, and I think you nailed it. We have a family that's just going to grow and grow, and it's amazing. What an achievement.
No, well, Emma, you're very kind to say that, but it is a family, isn't it? You know, I mean,
Stop it.
Yeah, sorry.
No, sorry, I'm just barely holding it together myself. So, you know, it's just, but this is it. You know, I mean, it's just.
We should rename this Cry Fest.
Yeah, well, you know, it's good, but you know, with the physical ride, you know, I mean, anyone who knows and has done it multiple years, it is like a family reunion, you know, just up at the top of Alexander Palace or whatever else. But what's incredible about, you know, since we've done it virtually, it's been kind of the same thing. And, you know, seeing people like Sergio out in Chile, or, you know, it's like these same faces and people joining us, you know, after last year. It's just so great because it kind of feels like we have to keep doing this also, you know, and that's the thing. It's just, that's how the family's gotten so much bigger. It's just that it's removed none of that feeling, which is quite amazing when you think about it, because you would have thought, no, it's got to be all together and all that. But no, just seeing everyone's stories has been, but Emma, you've been getting up at like, you know, ridiculous o'clock every single day.
4:30 a.m.
Like how do you even do, I mean, because that's utterly exhausting to even think about.
I don't really know, to be honest. I think I knew I had a target to hit, and the first half an hour out on the streets, certainly when it was a bit darker, were a little bit odd. But when you're out and you're walking with, you know, a couple of postmen and maybe the odd dog walker, there's actually something really nice about being up at that hour. And once you get into it, you just get lost. I mean, I've developed a whole new love for walking and listening to podcasts. So it's been wonderful. And it just, the messages coming in from everybody. I mean, Helen said it, you know, you make friends in this group of people that are not just friends, they are their family. Helen and I had a lovely 4.5 mile walk around Richmond Park the other day, just catching up on how this is so important to all of us. And none of us could ever dream of not doing it every year. But also, when it comes to the end, it's like, I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. But yeah, I need a rest, as does everybody. But yeah, I'm well up for getting into planning next year, 100%.
But it's time to put those feet up now and get the hubby to get the foot massager out and spa.
Gonna happen. But yeah, nice thought.
You deserve it.
But you know, but there's this really powerful sense of you know, you don't want to let the team down. You know, it's just like, you know, when you think about, no, I could stay in bed a little longer, you know, I could just put my feet, you know that there are other people out there at any given moment of the day, and over 12 days, that's an incredibly powerful thing. And you know, it's just it becomes like an incredible source of pride, I think, for people. And it certainly did for me, just to say, yeah, I did it. You know, there might have been an easier path, and everyone's pushed themselves so hard. So Emma, thank you so much for.
It's a pleasure. My alarm clock was redundant. My body clock was waking me up. It was, you're right, it was an automatic thing. Let's get out and do it. So yeah. Proud of you guys.
And you've raised £2,592.50 so far.
Oh, that's new ones have come in since I last looked. Fantastic.
You're in our top 10.
Oh, fantastic. Did I beat Barry Drinkwater? That's all I care about.
Wait, in mileage.
Legs.
Legs. Let me check. Hang on. Legs. Legs. Yes, you did.
Thank you very much.
By 10 kilometers.
Oh, it's on next year, Barry.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's the competition I like to see. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you very soon. But for now, I mean, yeah, legs up, and thank you for being awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Very good. All right. Well, now, we have a final duo to bring in.
Awesome.
You know, because we always talk about the kind of friends that you make in heavy metal Truants, but this year a bromance of sorts has erupted between two troopers. How are you doing, Martin? Martin and Graham, how you doing? Can you receive? Are you here?
Hey, how's it going?
All right.
Hello, gents. How are you?
Tired. I've got a beer, so it's all good.
Good. Yeah, Grant, you're super loud, Martin. I'm not sure I can hear you right now. You're just connecting audio. It's all good. All good.
I just be able to hear you guys now. Sorry about that.
Excellent. All right. No, not at all. I just assumed that it was just like the sort of like insane energy that both of you have. So guys, congratulations. You've both done the Trooper today. As of what time today?
About
midday.
Yeah, 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Fantastic.
It was very wet. Very wet.
Did you guys know it? Did you guys, I mean, because this is the thing. I mean, you guys seem to have just hooked up over the last 12 days. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, we've done a training, right?
Yeah.
That's when we first met.
Right. I mean, because you were like neck and neck, like literally matching each other, like within like a couple of kilometers.
I think I messaged Graham on the 8th day, and I said to him, "Have you seen the kilometers that we're on?" And it was like 1115, 5. Both of us were exactly on dead on. And we didn't even mean to do that. So I think
it was pure luck. Absolute pure luck. We just met up on the last week's Richmond rides, and then midweek we were like, "Oh, we're neck and neck. Let's just do some rides together and finish together on Friday."
Yeah, I think I had the last. I think the last day I showed Graham my route, and he goes, "You're crazy. You're gonna have more hills. let's choose a flat route." I said, "Okay."
Lobster. Can ride together now.
Well, it's so mind blowing because I mean it's just one of the things that Emma was talking about just before you guys because she did it, well, she doubled the top walking challenge with 100 miles. It is so time consuming to rack up that many miles. I mean, because how did you guys even do it? Because it's just like you have to be so strategic about just how you're going to do it, because it's
a lot of mental. You got to be up there mentally, really, because you got to get yourself up. I had to do it around a night shift. Halfway through the ride, I think day 5 I hit a wall, and I think Graham did as well.
I think a few people did. I know Zan hit a wall on Friday. I think a few of us did. And then just seeing everyone, you, Helen, Alex, seeing Rod, seeing Bruce on Saturday, Sunday, Monday was such a boost. It kept me going. And then, it's just been quite a frantic week. And we ended today on a typical drown load weather. I've never been so wet. I mean, I didn't take the right.
It's got a welcome, isn't it?
Absolutely drenched. We met Tim Lacey for coffee as well afterwards. It was lovely.
Tim's a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
There's a picture of us just holding coffee. Like, I don't want beer right now. I just want something
shivering.
No, but you guys were absolutely determined and laughing at us when we saw you over Richmond over the weekend. But just continue. I mean, I don't know if the people watching agree. I mean, I definitely feel like we all kind of hit a wall. I mean, 12 days is a long time to undergo something day in, day out. But I mean, it's funny because when Helen will remember this, when Rod, Helen, and I were talking about like the distances and the challenges. The reason why we came out with the Trooper was because the first time we did the virtual thing, we were like, no one's going to do that.
Yeah.
No one's going to do so. And then someone does. Then we come with the Trooper, and then just like a bunch of people do it, and it's unbelievable. It's just what people can do. So, so I wanted to say on behalf of Rod, everybody who's done the Trooper is going to get a crate of Trooper, compliments of Rod, compliments of all the heavy metal truants. You guys are so impressive to us. You're completely heroic. It's not about miles, it is about the fundraising. But when you show that much commitment, you demonstrate just how determined we are to make a difference. So honestly, just hats off. You are absolute kings of the hill. Thank you so much for doing this. And
big pleasure.
We hope to see you again next year.
So I'll be in touch with you guys to get addresses and stuff to send the beer out to you.
Wonderful.
Lovely. I want to thank all the guys through the Heavy Metal Truants pit. I mean, that has helped me a lot personally.
Absolutely.
Because seeing the videos, I mean, I was feeling dead for a few days, just updated the video, see the responses, other people doing things where they've got like limbs that have just been replaced, knees replacements, and they're still doing it for the kids. It's amazing. It's good.
It is. And in terms of fundraisers, so Martin, you're on £1,124.58.
Wow.
And Graham, you're on £781.61 at the moment.
Wicked.
So you're getting you're crawling up.
I mean, I've broken it since last year. I didn't expect to get more than 900 from last year, but that blows my mind, really.
Yeah, you've done amazingly, both of you.
Yeah, well done. Get some rest. And honestly, you've completely inspired me. Well done. And, honestly, hats off. You've absolutely smashed it. So be well.
Cheers, Graham. You got me through it.
Oh, keep up the bromance. Let us know what happens.
Indeed. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank.
Very good. Okay, so now we have a final guest, Helen.
We do.
Kind of a legend of the world of rock and heavy metal. Even more important because we could not exist without his support. From day one, he has been one of our greatest supporters, both in front and behind the scenes, Mr. Andy Copping, who joins us now. And, I do use the expression hats off a lot, but when I see Andy, it's always seriously Stetson off. Andy, how are you doing, man? What a pleasure to see you.
Good to see you. And I am Stetson off at the moment. It's getting itself all brushed off and cleaned, ready for a very special event in a couple of weeks. So yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. How's life in Truants land?
Well, Andy, it's kind of to ask, just before you joined, I was just saying to Helen, we wouldn't exist without you. I mean, just like from day one, and day one is before the first day of Heavy Metal Truants. It was when we approached you about this mad idea, and you were so up for it, that we're going to cycle from London to Download Festival. I mean, geez, Louise, you have been there from the absolute pre-.
Well, I was as mad about it as you were as mad about doing it. So, it's I just feel that I'm just part of it now. It's just it's all part of my very fabric and Download's fabric that you guys have been doing it for so long, and what you've achieved over the years is amazing. And my little small part involved in it, it's very easy for me to be involved, and just to feel as though I'm part of you crazy nutcases cycling your way up from London to Download. It's amazing.
Well, and honestly, you don't do yourself enough credit, because a lot of people could have said no, and you immediately said hell yes, and you kept on doing that, and it has become such a home for us. Everyone who's actually physically gone there knows the emotion we always feel on day 3 when we see the castle off in the distance.
Yeah, you see it. You see the sign that just says Castle Donington, and over the hills you can see the castle, and you can kind of hear the crowd starting to go, and you're like, oh, and you know that you're so close. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, it's so good.
It's the best thing in the world, Andy. And and we talk about what we've done. You might not know this yet, because we literally just announced it today. So our fundraising for this year is at £124,000, which actually we've now broken £1 million in 9 years.
Yes, and I know that was like a major target for you guys, and oh my God, that's so cool. I mean, think about that, £1 million. It's like, holy heck.
We were trying to figure out how many people had actually taken part in like the Heavy Metal Truants over the years, and to raise that much money. And it's amazing to think how we're just kind of this back end of what they're doing. But yeah, it's phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. That's a crazy amount of money, and amazing that you guys have delivered that. Unbelievable.
Well, it would have never happened without you, Andy. And we're, on behalf of all the Heavy Metal Truants and Rod, the committee, everybody, we're so grateful to you, because you have always met us halfway, and it has meant so much to us. And it actually, I think it heartens us all to kind of see that Download is coming back in a very special way. Tell us a little bit about what's happening in a couple of weeks, because I think we were all kind of air punching when we saw that news of what was happening. So tell us all about it.
Well, it's kind of bizarre, because obviously we were involved with the event, the test event in Liverpool at Sefton Park with the Blossoms, and Melvin Ben and his team, who are obviously a big part of Download, and they're the production and management of Download amongst a number of other festivals. And Melvin was approached, and they by the government officials, and said, well, look, you've got this event away, we want to take it another level, we want to do a camping event. So Melvin went away, thought about it, called me, said, hey, how do you feel about us doing a test camping event at Donington? And I went, well, it's location wise, it's perfect, right in the middle of the country. We're just off the major motorway. It makes total sense. And, you know, between us, obviously, if we're going to do any kind of musical event at Donington, you know, should we make it download related? And it's absolutely. And to think that, you know, rock and metal fans are going to be involved in a test event, because as you know, we're always the last to be thought of, last to be considered, always at the, you know, bottom of the pile. And we've lived our lives like that, you know, within the general populace for decades. It's always been that way. You know, we've never been given the respect as rock fans and metal fans that, you know, we really should have. But you know what? It's never stopped us. We've always carried on doing what we're doing. We always believe in what we do. The community within rock and heavy metal it's second to none. The loyalty and the camaraderie amongst everybody is amazing. So the fact that now that we're going to get some proper recognition in mainstream media, it's already started, is a small way of going in the right direction. And the fact that we're putting on this event, this test event, which will ultimately help all those other festivals towards the end of the summer, of which there are countless, and there are many of them, ranging from, you know, Reading Leeds, Creamfields, Parklife, Isle of Wight, Bloodstock. I mean, there's just, you know, Slam Dunk. There's many, all of different, you know, musical backgrounds. And if we can get our event away, and there's no reason why we won't without any issues, then all those events should hopefully be able to up and operate as per normal. And the other thing that goes in its favor is that the download community are unbelievably compliant. If we ask them to do something, they will do it. They understand whether, you know, stuff we've asked them to do prior to COVID, they've always been on side and fully supportive. Now we've got something which affects the whole world, that they can help take as a step to normality. We know that they're all over this. The fact that the minute we put it on sale, 10,000 people camping for 3 days. We've got 2 stages going on. We sold out in a day.
That's
People
amazing.
are desperate for this.
But rock and heavy metalers are the most polite festival goers in the world. Like every kind of heavy metal festival, rock festival, everyone's just, even mosh pits are polite. Like everyone's enjoying themselves, but
everybody's there to help each other. And
they do.
And what is it? If any of us fall over, there's always somebody to pick us up, and that goes right across the board, not just in the circle pit, just wherever. And if somebody in our world falls over, there's always somebody there to pick them up. And you don't see that with any other musical spheres. It's been inherent within the rock and metal world forever, and it's what we've been built upon. I'm proud to be a part of it, and always will be, and we'll forever champion it. So yeah, I'm very, very happy, and this event that we're putting on at Donington, there is actually going to be a download this year. I mean, who would have thought?
News.
Who would have thought?
Indeed. Well, you know, I mean, I said it to you personally, Andy, when I heard. I can't imagine a safer pair of hands with which to, you know, conduct this pilot. You know, it feels like I think a lot of people feel the same way, that, you know, rock and metal fans feel like a sense of pride in the fact that it's one of ours that's doing it, you know, that's out in front figuring this thing out. And, you know, and it's in that spirit of picking people up when they fall down in the pit that you have helped us time and time again in so many countless ways. Too many to mention. And so you've come with some news as well, you know, some bits that you wanted to share with us, and you know, so I just wanted to kind of just buckle up here, because it's a biggie.
Well, I mean, the thing is, some of the things that we've been talking about, I mean, firstly, we want to make a contribution to Truants with download. You know, we get quite a few guests that come to the festival and they contribute an amount of money that goes to our various charities that we give money to every year. But we've made the decision that we're going to give all of the charity money that comes in to Truants this year. It's the least that we can do. We know that it's such a big deal. We have contributed in the past. We've given part of our monies to charity monies to Truants, but this year we're going to give it all. So I'm super stoked about that, and everybody who comes who's lucky enough to be on the guest list, the money is going to an amazing cause, as you know. So yeah, we'll be championing that, and I'm hearing through the grapevine that we might be getting a visit this year. So you know, it's if just to see a handful of you crazy lunatics coming to visit us this year will be incredible. So I'm absolutely overjoyed that there's going to be a contingent from Heavy Metal Truants coming to download in 2021. So
Indeed,
yeah.
indeed.
There won't be many of us. Obviously, we have to be COVID compliant, but we're working on it.
Yeah. Well, I'm hopeful that you know that is going to happen, and we're doing everything our end to ensure that does, and it will be great to see whomever are the chosen ones.
Indeed. Well, Andy, it would be rude not to. And I've just got to say, on behalf of all the HMTs, you've done so much to help us, but what an absolute honor it is to be acknowledged in that way, especially this of all years, because we've really missed Download Festival in a really big way. We've missed your hospitality and everything else. And it just means so very much, because unlike a lot of people, it's like, what's next? You know, yeah, we smashed £1 million. That's old news. Where's 2 coming from? Where's 5? And so that you're powering us beyond the finish line is so important, especially this year, because we want to see this go well beyond year 10. And you know, as someone who was there in the beginning, you know how hard it is to do these things. You've created Download out of the ether. We've done that with Heavy Metal Truants, and so thank you for being part of our genetic material, and we thank you for your time as well. And honestly, again, hats off, Andy. On behalf of everybody, thank you for being so very awesome.
No, my pleasure. And listen, thank you for allowing me to be part of your crazy family. It always feels good. It's great seeing you guys when you're on site. And I bump into various members of Truants at different shows, different events. So yeah, it's great just to feel that I'm a small part of it. So long may it continue, and good luck to you guys.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, you be well. Take care.
Soon.
See ya. Bye.
Oh man, gosh.
Colin's coming back.
Who knew heavy metal people were so huggy? All I want to do is just hug everybody. I know that's not COVID compliant at all, but it's just like there's so much love
From a distance.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, Helen, I mean, I can't cope with this. I don't want this to be over.
Well, Alex, don't worry, it's not over, because in 15 minutes we're going to have a little group party hang.
The HMTV after show, and
yeah, it's the after show.
So we can raise a glass. Remember, maybe mute yourselves. Especially if you have the tumble dryer on the background and all that. But honestly, Helen, hats off. We have smashed it, and we're going to keep on smashing it, because
absolutely, it doesn't stop here.
Indeed. So it's not about the million we made, it's about the next one that we're going to make, and we're going to do that together. So guys, watch this space. We'll see you soon. We're going to have announcements about the next Heavy Metal Truants soon enough, but fundraising for HMT9 continues to August 31st. Hit up everyone because every penny really does count and makes a difference in the lives of young people. Everyone, fucking well done. All right, we'll see you very soon. And again, Helen, what a pleasure it is.
Cheers.
You're a marvelous co-host, indeed. Cheers. Cheers to you.
Chin.
We'll see you soon. Bye.